everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to the last video of August. Wow, where has that time gone? I can't believe I've been back from my holiday for a month now. So, I was asked if I would do this card, which is called a triple Z-fold card. So I had a play because I couldn't find anybody that done one, so I didn't have any measurements to go with. So I had a play with it, and this is what I came up with. And I did this one with all retired products. And it's really pretty. I like it. It's hard to see it on that angle. When I photograph it, you'll be able to see it. So you can see it better like this. I'll see if I can put it that way so you can see it better like that. Okay. And it's really easy. And you do your writing on the back. Let's turn it around the right way. Your writing on the back. So I did this one in Merry Merlot because I had some of this Merry Merlot designer series paper left over, and I can't remember what colour that is. One of the greys, but for the life of me I can't remember. So this is what we're going to make, but we're going to do it with all new products. So let me pop this one out of the way and I'll show you what we're going to be using. We're going to be using these lovely embellishments, which are called metallic gems. Oh wow, that's really out there, isn't it? So it's got like a coppery colour, gold, silver, and in the two sizes. Excuse me. So we're going to be using iconic imagery because I'm going to be putting the words, I can't remember which order I put them in, peace, love and joy from this set. And I've got these two here ready just in case I decide to put those on. I'm not sure yet. This set, for the back of the card, I'm going to put send in loads of Christmas cheer. So that's filled with cheer. And then this one called Golden Greenery. Greenery. I'm actually not going to be using the stamp set. I'm actually using the dies, which I've already done all the cutting out. So I used these 3 dies here to cut out from the designer series paper, which I'll bring over and show you what that looks like. Just hang on, let me pop that one away. So let me pop them out of the way. And the designer series paper looks like this. It's actually beautiful. That's the piece that I cut out of. And this designer series paper is called Season of Green and Gold. And it is really gorgeous. I've used a bit of it already. So you've got this beautiful paper here, which is what I cut these leaves out of. Let me get rid of that bit of rubbish. These leaves out of. Now I only chopped out what I needed, which was this piece here. And I actually cut out even the ones on the edge, except for that one little bit there. And I will show you why in a moment. So I'm going to throw that bit in the bin because now you don't need to see that bit. So that is really pretty. This one's got bells on it and the same flowers, but they don't cut out of the dies. This is one we'll be using, this one here. And we're going to use both sides of this paper. So, and it's got this beautiful gold looking through it all. So, and that's a nice green. And that one there I did use for a card that's coming up later on next month. So that one's the one we did the cutting out of. This one's a lovely just diamond shapes, and it's got that lovely flower on the back. And this one here with the gold through it again. And then we've got like stars here and the gold with that beautiful greenery on the back there. So that's what we're going to be using, that paper. Let me pop that back over there so it doesn't fall down and all fall out. And let me show you what you're going to need. So let me show you. I actually cut these bells out by hand because there isn't any die for them to cut them out by. But these are all my odds and ends. And I will show you what you can do with these when we get that far. So let me put them on one side. There's my saying for the front of the card, which I cut out with the dies. Can't think of what the name of the dies are. So anyway, but I cut those all out ready. And these are all the flowers. I cut 2 of each. So I cut 2 of those, 2 of those, and 2 of those for our decoration for the front of the card. So let's pop them over on the one side, and then we will go through everything we need here. So I'm going to lift these off like so, because these are all the different panels. Okay, for our main Z, we're going to need a piece of card that is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. Then we're going to need left layers, which is this side, and this is 3 7/8 by 2 5/8, and then my designer series paper, which is 3 5/8 by 2 3/8. For the right side of my card, you're going to need a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 3 7/8 by 5 5/8, and then another piece of designer series paper that measures 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So let's pop that one on one side, because we're going to use that one first. I'll leave that one up here. That sounds good. For the middle section, you're going to need a piece of card that measures 9 inches by 3 inches, and then you're going to need 3 pieces for your layers that measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then 3 pieces of designer series paper that measure 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. So let's pop that one over there. Then for our third Z fold, we need a piece that is 7 5/8 by 1 3/4 inch. And then for our layers, this is the one that's got the layers all different sizes. So you're going to need, for the left side, a piece that measures 2 1/2 by 1 1/2, and then 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. For the middle section, 2 7/8 by 1 1/2, and 2 5/8 by 1 1/4. And then for the right hand side, 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, and 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. So let's pop them over there. And then for our writing panel on the back, we're going to need a piece that is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, and 5 3/8 by 3 5/8. So let's pop them over there. Okay, so let's start with this piece. So I'm going to move those ones out of the way, and we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to be, oh, excuse me, my scoreboard was quite some way away. Oh, I just dropped something on the floor now. So we're going to be using that scoreboard a fair bit, because we will do each section as we go. So we're going to score our first piece on the long side at 2 7/8. And now we're going to make sure we're using the small ball. So we're going to score this at 2 7/8 and 5 7/8 of an inch. Put that on the side. Put that down there. And we're going to fold and burnish this card. So we're going to fold it in half. That way you know you're going to get that nice and square before we do the other fold. And then fold the other one back. So you've got a Z fold. Now you will notice that that's not quite the way back, but it's not going to show. So now we're going to put our layers on this one. So we have our left hand layers, which were the 2 5/8 by 3 7/8, and the 2 3/8 by 3 5/8. Oh, my glue is oozing. I had a little bit of a problem before I started. My tip on the top of my glue pot fell off, and then I couldn't get it back on. I couldn't get the pin out, and now I can't get the glue out. There we go, there goes the glue. Now if you're like me and you have a directional pattern, you do have to make sure that you get your direction the correct way up. For this side piece here, it is, and I've got glue hanging out the top there, portrait. For my right hand side it is landscape. So we're going to pop these on, and the glue is oozing like crazy because it's actually a warm day today and we've had some really cold weather beforehand. So we're going to turn that over and we'll give that a nice squash down, and then we'll do the one on the other side as well. And as you can see, the glue is just oozing out. Whoops. But I'm not going to put the pin in it until I finish, and I can wipe it all down nice and neatly. Just make sure, if you're using the same glue as me, that if it does ooze, wipe it off of your mirror paper straight away with a little bit of dampness, whether it be with your finger and a bit of spittle or a tissue, because it won't show, which is really, really good. Okay, so we have our first part of our Z fold card done, so let's pop that out of the way. We're going to now work on our second piece of the Z fold card, which is our 9 by 3 inch piece. I'm going to bring in our scoreboard again, and we're going to score this once again with the small ball at the 3 inch mark and the 6 inch mark. So, and we're going to fold this once again just over, making sure that it's nice and even on both sides, and then the other one the opposite way. So we've got another Z like so. Alright, so we want our Z to be this way, mountain, valley, and then we're going to glue our layers onto these. Now this is really leaking, so I'm going to be very, very careful. And I could have done 2 of these beforehand, but I didn't. Never mind. You can always whiz past me if you don't want to watch me stick 3 pieces of card the same size together. Crap. Excuse me. Have a little bit on my bench, my top here. I have to rub it on my hands because I don't want to rub it on my pants. And once again, I've got a little bit sticking out the side here because of the way my glue is going today. I mean, in this section I don't have any that have a direction, so I don't need to worry about which way round I'm going to put these on. This is really driving me a little bit crazy. I might have to stop the video, clean that up, and then carry on. So I'll just finish these sections and I will do that. Come back. And section 3. So I have my 3 sections there. So that is section 2 done. So let's pop that over there. I'm going to switch you off for a second and clean. Okay, we're back again with section 3. Okay, so let's move all these pieces out of the way, and we're going to bring this in, and it's still leaking out. It's siphoning up like I don't know what. And this is the piece that now measures 7 5/8 by 1 3/4. And we're going to score this at 2 3/4 of an inch using the small ball, yeah, and 5 7/8 of an inch. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. So I can put my scoreboard down there, no, pin down there. And we're going to, once again, we are going to fold and burnish all of these as a, oops, I've done that one the wrong way, as a Z fold again. With this section here and the little one where the valley fold is. So we're going to wipe the glue off of this. I brought my little tissue off with me, and we're going to pop our pieces on. So I'm using them all in order so that I can make sure. And once again, if you've got directional paper, you will need to put these in portrait, landscape. So we're going to pop them on each section. That way we know we've got them in the right order. Not that you can't get the last one in the right order, but the other two you might find you want to put them on the wrong way, and we don't want to do that. Okay, we have our 3 sections all done now. And then we're going to bring the whole lot in and assemble it. So we have our 3 sections now all done like so. So we have them all going the same way. Mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. So we're going to now pop this one onto here. So we want to make sure that this is in the center of this section. Now center this way, don't worry, and center that way as much as you can. But we need to make sure that there is enough there for it. So we're going to pop that in there. We're going to lay that one down. We're happy with where we've got it. And we're going to glue this one into place. We're happy with that, making sure that it's nice and straight. I'm going to glue that one into position. And this one's still leaking a little bit. I haven't got my little wet white one there, so I will wipe that bit off. We close the card up now, and we pop this one across, and we go, oh well, that's beautiful, that's in the right spot. So we're going to now, I'm going to open this up like this, and I can't do this with the last one, but I can do it with this one. I'm just going to draw a line just underneath there, so I know where to put my glue. We want it close to that edge, but we don't want to put it on this piece because that's the bit that's going to be open. Now once we're happy with that, we can bring that up, just run our finger down the inside here just to make sure that we don't have any glue there. If we do, we need to just wipe it off. And we have our first part of our Z fold. Okay, this should lay flat, which is really, really good. And this bit now is going to go into the middle of this. So we're going to glue, once again, we're going to pull this one over and glue this into the center section of this piece. So we're going to bring that over and we're going to glue this section into the center section of that piece. Making sure it's down. Now we're going to close the card over. This time we can't bring this over to see, so we've got to sort of work it out. We can see it's that much we can do that much again. So if we put our fingers roughly where we don't want that glue, and it doesn't matter if it's not right to the edge of that section, then we know that it will glue down in flat onto there. Once we've done that, we can see that we have our triple fold. And how gorgeous does that look now? If you're not happy with that, you can actually move it across a bit. I'm not going to, because we don't need to have it open like that. It's going to open like so. And I'm happy with the way that's sitting. I've got a lump underneath that from the glue. Never mind. We're going to be putting our saying over that bit. And I can actually press that down. Get the glue out. There we go. Look at that. Alright, so we're going to pop that on one side for a minute. And we're going to work on our writing panel. So I'm going to do my stamping. If I can open my ink pad. I'm really having struggles today. And I'm going to stamp Sending Loads of Christmas Cheer. I'm going to pop that right in the middle, like so. And then I'm going to use this stamp just in this corner here. And just in the top corner, just to give it a bit of extra interest. Close that one up and bring in the Old Olive, which is just that little bit lighter, but not a lot. And then we're going to pop this one, which is the one that goes in the centre of these leaves. And we're going to turn that around and do the other side. So that's the back of our card done. So give that a few seconds to dry. See, that's not leaking anymore, thank goodness for that. And we're going to glue this onto here. And onto the back of our card. Now, to make sure we got this the right way round, we need to lay our card like so and turn it over, just so that we know we haven't got it upside down. I've done that before. And I don't like that. I've had to put another layer over the top because it was a while later when I realised it. Now, I am going to try and, oops, what am I doing? Push that down nice and neatly like so. So that's the back of our card done. That's the front of our card done. Now we'll bring in our bits and pieces and we can do this. But before we do the decorating, I will show you what I mean by using up these pieces. If you were using this card and you wanted to put one of these here, you could pop that right on that join where that was on the edge of the paper. You could pop that right on that edge there and it would look like you cut it to go. The same as these pieces here, you could cut them and pop them on the edges like so, and it would look like, oh, that's how you wanted it to be. So don't waste these small pieces when you see them on the edge of your designer series paper, because there's so many times when you could use them just to fill in that space that just needs that little bit extra. But I'm not going to use them on these, but I will pop them away with my pile of bits and pieces that I do so that we can use them another time. But we're going to be using these, so I've got 2 of each and I'm going to put 1 of each with each one. So we'll start with this one and I'm going to pop it this way and I'm going to lay that one down flat there with this one and this one. You can't see the one underneath then, so maybe I won't use that. Maybe I will just use that one and that one with a bell. I think that looks better. Yep, that looks better. So let's see, we're going to pop this one here, or actually I might do this one and this one. No, this one, because it's so different in colour, with the bell. Yep, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to lay this one flat. And I'm going to make it sure that I don't go over the top edge. So I'm going to lay that one down flat. And then this one I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So we do this on the fly because sometimes I have an idea in my mind, but when I get around to it, it just doesn't pan out. So I'm not going to put one down there because I will actually just put that with a bit of glue, because I'm going to pop my bell over the top. So let's pop that one on there, flat there, and around like so with my bell. So I'll put a couple of these up here, these little ones, and I've got a couple of big ones here. Oops, didn't want to come out. Oh, come on. My bell here like so. Okay, so let's move them bits out of the way. I'm going to glue my tag together. Move that bit out of the way. And then I'll put a couple more of these. Oh, I did come off. There it went there. I thought it came off, but never mind. We used it in the end. And I'm going to just pop this one just down here like so. Now for my inside one, I'm going to do a similar thing. So I'm going to pop this one here with this one here. But I don't know about my bells. I think I'm not going to put the bells on that one. So let's move these bits out of the way and just pop these ones down. So we'll pop this one down flat. Oh, come on. And then this one I'm going to put down with some dimensionals. Oh, there's none there. There's one. And once again, I won't put one down there. I will just put a little bit of glue just on that bit. Oh, let's take these things off first. Oh, excuse me, did you hear my tummy rumble? And that's our card for today. Now, I cannot remember the name of the lady that wanted this, but I will put her name down in the comments down the bottom here. So just to finish this off, we're going to pop on some of these beautiful gems. Let me put the pin back in the glue now that it's stopped leaking everywhere. Pin back in there, that's it. And I think we're going to use the gold ones because they'll go with it. And a couple of these little ones, I think. And that's it. That's our card. What do you think? I'm actually really happy with that, and that's come out beautifully. I don't think that bell would look right down here, so I'm not going to put that bell down there at all. I'm just going to leave that bell off completely. So I hope that you are happy with this card and the measurements that I use for it. This will fit into a regular size envelope, which is a C6, I think it is called. I'm never 100% sure on these things, but it is a beautiful card. It does lay flat. It is a tiny bit bulky, as you can see, but it does lay flat to go into the card. As you can see, you do see that tiny little bit there, but it's the sort of card when you open it up, you've got that wow factor, so you don't actually see that tiny bit there. You could move that over one notch to the 3-inch mark if you wished, but to me, I'm just happy with the way it turned out. So if you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for this, please head down below down here, and there you will find the written tutorial for this card, and it is under my Facebook group called Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. There you will find all you need for this, including the photographs of both the cards that have been made. You do have to ask to join, but you know, it's free to join. All you have to do is answer the question. If you don't answer the question, I'm sorry, I will not accept your and invite you to the group, because that is my rule, and I'm sorry to say that's how it's got to be. So I will see you all again next week, which is in September, and I have a nice little project for you already in the works for that. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to know more about these products, these ones are all retired, but these products, or you'd like to purchase them and you live in Australia, please feel free to contact me. I'd love to be your demonstrator. I would love you to join my group if you would like that, and I will see you all again next week. Bye for now.